internet of value at Ripple, we're thinking much bigger than just cross-border payments. It's kind of like Amazon with rare books in the early days, just this market happens to be a $10 trillion market.
We are at a historic turning point.
Said in the past that you are doing for money what email did for communication.
Moving the whole revolution forward.
Take on it.
There's trillions of dollars parked around the world.
XRP.
Is there a possibility that Ripple could take over Swift one day?
Well,
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of 24 Hours in Crypto. Let's get right into today's video. Sit back, relax. This video is going to be tremendous. It's going to be so valuable. And for the individuals that don't understand what's coming, I truly feel bad for you. For the individuals that have joined our channel recently, welcome. I want you guys to understand that if you're out there doing research, if you're not being aggressive on your research, just stop. You're wasting your time. Right now is not the time to go waste your time on doing research. Realistically, your research should be maybe an hour or 30 minutes on some of these coins, because time is running out. And within the next coming weeks, you guys are going to not see fireworks. You're going to see something else. This ain't going to be fireworks. What we're about to witness is not going to be fireworks. And Ripple just dropped a bombshell. Arcex provides access to ABRDN money market fund on the XRP ledger in collaboration with Ripple. And this is monumental, because if you guys just remember what the CEO of Arcex said.
I close this panel session with some hard predictions. We're Q4 2025. How big is the RWA market in size, and where does the majority come from? Graham, don't disappoint us.
No, well, I'm probably a bit more bullish, but I have been for 6 years and slightly behind my original projections. But the total market is 1.4 quadrillion, everything that's ever out there. And if you start looking across any of those asset classes, they're all starting to move on-chain already. And the ease with which we've seen people interested in money market funds, tokenized treasuries, and those types of instruments, the support for stable coins, when you're talking about replacing cash, when I see DTCC, Euroclear, Clearstream, it only takes one of them to flip onto natively digital, and that's trillions of assets on its own that move. So, tens of trillions, I think we could see. And bearing in mind it's 1.4 quadrillion, this is still a tiny slice of a huge market. 30 to 50 trillion, all on XRP, all trading on Arcex.
Here we go, $50 trillion. 2 years from now, Ripple, Twitter will replay the session, Q4 2025.
And now we have Ripple creating a press release on it. And I'm going to get into this press release, and then I'm going to get into how XRP is going to go to $100 100%. It's just a matter of time, because logically speaking, when you talk about liquidity and velocity, and when you talk about market demand, it makes absolutely no sense for XRP not to go to $100, okay? Absolutely no sense. And honestly, with everything that is going on right now, I would not be surprised, and I know some of you guys have said this in the comments down below, but again, you need to understand where I'm coming from. I worked at a regulated industry for 10 years. I'm very conservative. I don't like to mislead investors in any way, shape, or form. Okay, you guys got to stay grounded, because we're at infancy stages of this ecosystem. Infancy stages. I'm sorry I'm repeating myself, but you need to understand how early we are, and you need to stop rushing it. Okay, we as pioneers, personally myself, I've been here for 8 years. There's individuals that are watching my channel that have been in this ecosystem for 12 years, 8 years, 7 years, right? We are the pioneers. We are the individuals that got this market started. And why are we in a hurry? It blows my absolute mind. That didn't even make sense. Okay, I'm just so bullish. I am absolutely so bullish. And before I get into it, for the individuals that are, like I said, getting into this ecosystem right now, you don't have time to go do research. Okay, go watch other YouTubers, go try to dabble in some coins. But if you need assistance, that's why I created the IGCPS blueprint. It's the institutional grade crypto portfolio strategy. It pretty much cancels out all the noise, because there's millions of coins out there. And you and I will also get a 15-minute call to go over this blueprint and answer any of your questions that you have. This is strictly for frameworks and decision-making on the right digital assets for the 2030 vision. Okay, let's continue on. Again, I'm going to say this again, newcomers, you don't have time. Just buy crypto. That's all I got to say. Not financial advice, because crypto could go to zero tomorrow night. Okay, but please understand, time is against you right now. The fact that Ripple released this press release is monumental. Okay, just take a listen to what was said here. Projections estimate the value of tokenized assets could reach 16 trillion by 2030, signaling strong market demand. And I hate liars, and I hate liars when they lowball the ecosystem. I mean, here you have them projecting 2030 16 trillion, and then it's funny because on a panel they're projecting 20 to 50 trillion by 2025. Do you see what I'm talking about when there's closed door meetings that take place? I mean, this wasn't a closed door meeting, but also understand this partnership that Archex and Ripple did. I mean, they already knew they were going to do this like years ago, okay? Like, this is what I said, and I've been saying this since day one. Ripple will announce its partnerships and their products when they're ready to do so, okay? So let's continue on to what else they said here. There is no question that the on-chain economy is gaining traction. By working with companies like Archex, we are excited to help financial institutions like ABRD and to seize the incredible opportunity represented by blockchain and digital assets technology to deliver utility at scale. Utility at scale. These words are very, very important. You need to understand that. And then they continue on to say the XRP ledger is a proven and scalable blockchain purpose-built to meet the needs of financial institutions. Again, what have I been saying on this channel since day one? The XRP ledger is proven. It's scalable. It has no downtime. Like, these are very, very important when you look at it from an institutional perspective, okay? And they also mentioned that companies like Ripple have been using the XRP ledger for over a decade to power financial use cases, including global payments, digital asset custody, and stablecoin issuance. Very important. Again, another key driver. Companies like Ripple have been using XRPL for over a decade. You see how they always mention that, like over a decade, over this long. It's proven. We have the scalability because this is very, very important. It is very, very important. And, you know, let me cover this part before we just get into some, groundbreaking, just well put information together that's going to completely blow your mind, okay? So let's just talk about how, value of XRP, right? The distribution of XRP holdings. There is a significant portion held by retail investors, and that plays a crucial role in determining the liquidity available for large-scale financial activities on the XRP ledger. As tokenization of assets grows, the demand for XRP liquidity is poised to drive its value upward, reflecting its utility in the evolving financial ecosystem, right? This isn't speculation. I want you guys to understand this. And for every single buddy that have been watching my channels for a very long time, remember what I said, how math does not lie. Okay, we've done the math here. Scientifically, it's impossible for XRP not to reach $100 within our lifetime. Okay, so this isn't speculation. This is just math. XRP isn't just another crypto. It's a liquidity bridge for the tokenized economy. As more assets flow through the XRP ledger, as supply gets locked up, and as demand accelerates, remember those ETPs that are going to be utilizing physical XRP, if it's going to, remember what I said about $1 billion worth of ETPs or ETFs or whatever they're going to do, if they're going to utilize physical XRP, that's going to be locked up and it's not going to be in circulation, right? So as the demand accelerates, XRP's price will rise, not because of hype. Please understand that. And what the saddest part is, Bitcoin right now, this whole ecosystem right now is just getting a pump off of hype, right? But XRP isn't about hype. It's actually about utility, right? You're not just watching history. You're a part of it, ladies and gentlemen. $48, $64, $100. Where does XRP go from here? Well, listen, as much, there is no cap on XRP. I've been the $100 man since day one, okay? Because I've shown you mathematically why it is 100% achievable and it will happen 100% without a doubt, okay? But here's the thing. A lot of people, you know what, before I get into it, I want to let you guys know that this coming Sunday is going to be the last day you guys could place your order for the XRP pendant, and it's never going to come back again on 24hourscrypto.com, and you could rest assured that it's never going to come back. Just like those merch that we did, and if you guys have the merch right now, it's probably you guys are rocking it. It is amazing. That will never come back again. So this XRP pendant, the link is in the description down below. It'll have the value of XRP on the back, so it'll say $1.43, and it'll also have the purchase date. So it'll say November 25th, 2025 on the back of this pendant. Okay, so if you guys purchase it tomorrow, it'll say November 26th, 2025, and the value of XRP at the time of purchase. This is a monumental piece, completely designed by me and created by myself, and you're not gonna find anything else like this on the internet. If you type in XRP chains pendants on Google, you get this. $166 without an engravement, another one $166, another one for $70 without an engravement. But this also, I checked it out, the prices go higher when you pick a chain on it. But again, this is not gonna come back, ladies and gentlemen. And when we look at this chain and the pendant especially, 5 years from now, when we look at the date that says November 25th and it's $1.43, you're gonna be like, wow, that motherfucker. Oh, I don't even know if I could swear on YouTube. But wow, that is some incredible stuff, okay? So the link is in the description down below. I do appreciate every single one of you guys. Let's continue on to some bullishness. Remember this video that I showed you guys with the BIS, Visa, and Ripple sitting together. And what did I say? Okay, just listen to what was said here. It is so monumental. And given what's happening with Archex, given what's happening in this whole ecosystem,
Ripple for the past probably 7 or 8 years has really been working with mostly financial institutions, always with businesses, so we're a B2B company, to provide technology that allows for a more efficient movement of money cross-border. But over time, as our customer base got more comfortable with the technology and saw the opportunity and saw that we were able to abstract the complexity away and really just deliver the benefit they were seeking, we then sort of went to this next step, which was addressing liquidity by leveraging a digital asset. In our case, we use one called XRP as a bridge currency. But to this next step, which was addressing liquidity by leveraging a digital asset. In our case, we use one called XRP as a bridge currency. But to this next step, which was addressing liquidity by leveraging a digital asset. In our case, we use one called XRP as a bridge currency between really a fiat transaction. So from the end user's perspective, they didn't really understand or need to understand that crypto was involved. All they saw was faster, it was cheaper, it was more reliable, it was available 24/7. So all big improvements on what was happening before. So we're licensed now in many states in the US. We have a BIT license in New York. We've applied for licenses throughout the world. We have our major payments institution license recently granted by the MAS in Singapore. So over time, we really want to be that go-to place where you can move money quickly whenever you want, however you want, and then start to layer on these other building blocks, if you will. So custody, I heard was mentioned in the prior panel, super important. We made an acquisition there last year. A Swiss company actually named Medico is now part of the Ripple family. And you can imagine tokenization is on the list, et cetera, et cetera. So,
and what really, really, really blows my mind, that a lot of people don't understand that Ripple and its digital asset XRP has been catering and pitching to multi-trillion-dollar entities, which are financial institutions. And that is what we're aiming for, right? That is the target. Those are the trillions. And in today's video, you're gonna understand it to the fullest. We're gonna replay some videos that we did in the past. We're gonna tie it all together, and you guys are all gonna sleep really well at night, knowing that XRP will flip Bitcoin 100%. And Tyrone Lobin, he's going to take over now.
Yeah, and maybe I can just provide a little bit of context in terms of just the traditional financial services market and how we think about the requirements really to be able to operate a safe and sound system. So JP Morgan processes about $10 trillion of payments every day. That's 400 times the global stablecoin daily volume. The global FX market is about $5 trillion. And so when we think about utilizing blockchains as a settlement layer,
Let's pause him there for a second. You see how he talks about the settlement layer, and you guys remember the WorldPay patent that is collateralized by JP Morgan. So if they default, this goes to JP Morgan. WorldPay LLC, and they refer to Ripple as the blockchain for settlement. And also in the patent, you guys remember the interledger communication protocol, and then for blockchain for settlements, again, Ripple. And remember what Chris Larson said.
But having the combination of ILP with XRP, we think that's kind of the killer formula.
Interledger protocol, XRP, boom.
We need the infrastructure to actually support these volumes, and we need them to support the scale that the traditional financial services market is at. So right now, clearly, there are a number of reasons, both technological-wise, but also regulatory-wise, as to why we have to use permissioned blockchains. However, you can think about these, globally ever-present, always-up, highly redundant public blockchains as a really, really attractive settlement layer that can, service this global market. Ever-present, always-up, highly redundant public blockchains as a really, really attractive settlement layer that can, service this global market. However, until we actually solve some of the key challenges, specifically around privacy, specifically around things like AML, KYC, it does become difficult for us to fully step into that environment. We did a project last year with the Monetary Authority of Singapore where we demonstrated what it would actually look like for a regulated institution like ourselves to utilize public DeFi protocols, to utilize public blockchains. And very clearly there were lots of very insightful learnings for us. The transparency that you get around DeFi pools, for example, the ability to have anytime price discovery through a DeFi protocol, very, very important and interesting. Also the lower cost. But as I said, until we actually have some clarity around the ability to actually operate on this infrastructure from a reg perspective, we're going to have to be in the sort of permission view until we can take some of the hybrid steps. And those hybrid steps look like some of the existing infrastructure that is coming out right now around subnets or permission zones or these kinds of things. And from our perspective, the reason why we operate an EVM sidechain is so that everything that we build can actually be portable into a public environment. So all of our contracts are written in Solidity. We use ERC20s for the most part for our tokens. All of our developer tooling is utilizes the public Ethereum ecosystem's tooling set. So actually moving into the public blockchain environment when we can will be much of a sort of a lift and drop scenario.
Public ledgers provide guaranteed fairness, and they're interoperable without controllers. So what that means is if the Federal Reserve and the European Central Bank issue onto, let's say, the same public ledger, like the XRP ledger, there's guaranteed fairness on the ledger side. The ledger isn't going to favor one or the other. Everybody knows what rules they're going to get. And it's not the case that everybody who wants to use the public ledger has to trust every issuer. You have to trust the issuers whose assets you hold and deal with, but the system itself has that guaranteed fairness. A hybrid public ledger approach is scalable and provides low risk. The two types of risk that it best minimizes are overnight risk. You imagine if you used a more traditional system, you might have a whole bunch of payments that settle on Friday, and you can't actually make the payment to ultimately settle between the financial institutions until Monday. If you go back to a public ledger and settle with a stablecoin or CBDC, you avoid that overnight risk. And you can also avoid the sort of cascading default. Public ledgers have limited throughput. You can't dump 1,000 transactions per second to any blockchain, and even if you could, nobody else could. There's no system that's going to scale better than that. And this is kind of a fundamental problem. It's not a technological problem. The problem with public ledgers is every transaction imposes some cost on everyone who uses the system. So you can't monopolize the system and dump hundreds of your own transactions per second to it. It just doesn't work.
And it's remarkable with his numbers, $5 trillion in FX, which is wrong. It's over about $8 trillion now in FX markets. But remember the whole indirect partnerships and usage with Ripple. It could be directly or indirectly. And once we introduce this new system to the world, it's going to change everything. And we have been saying this on this channel. And just listen to what Ray Dalio and what they said in the Interledger Summit back in 2022. Some of you guys may have seen this, but it is very important for you to engrave this to your mind. We need to prepare for what's to come. It is hard to sit here and take all this in. We have never seen technology like this be implemented into the financial infrastructure. So we need to listen to what these billionaires are saying, what they're projecting the next years are.
It's like going through a time warp We're going to be in a different world, okay?
These systems, if they're implemented properly, will result in a new world.
Going through a time warp. We're going to be in a different world, okay?
A world in which things will be different for everybody, different for banks, different for mobile money companies, different for people. These systems, if they're implemented properly, will result in a new world.
And that is why this whole crypto ecosystem reaching $100 trillion, $200 trillion, even within 5 years is very possible. My targets that I give, especially in yesterday's episode about $100 XRP before 2030 or $1,000 XRP is achievable, those are just all conservative numbers. You need to understand that I've in the past worked in a regulated financial industry for 10 years. I mentally cannot come out here and say my mind has been trained not to mislead investors in terms of any kind of nonsense. So when I give you guys these numbers, I'm trying to be very reasonable so you guys kind of understand and see where this is going, right? Just like when they released the fundamental valuation framework for XRP, they said the high projected price was $32. They're not going to legally come out here and, say it's going to go to $1,000. Heck no. And that video that we watched earlier only has 479 views. Like I said, we're going through an education phase where, unfortunately, we're in an era where individuals' attention spans are very, very low. So they can't come out here and, watch my 12-minute clips or sometimes 17-minute clips. It's hard for some individuals to really understand this stuff. They find it boring. So that is why, you guys are truly blessed to be in this ecosystem. And I'm truly blessed to have individuals within this ecosystem that are like-minded and we could share our thoughts and our knowledge and our journey going into this new era of finance. People are going to miss out on this. I don't care if I sound like a broken record. We need to all, every single day, come together because we are the movement. We are the pioneers. We are creating this movement, right? It's you telling your family and spreading the word. And like I said, you guys are living rent-free in their heads for the rest of their lives. It's remarkable. It really, really is, ladies and gentlemen. It really, really is. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And also remember that we're, heading into a world where humanity's demand is going to decrease. Okay, humans are becoming useless. And we're seeing already, I don't know if you guys remember when the payment system went down for chaps and when the whole databases went down for some of these newscasters. Just take a listen to this little video montage that I put together. Elon Musk, and then them talking about the payment systems going down. Remember, they're creating something else. There's going to be the Black Swan event in the near future that is going to completely transition to everybody utilizing blockchain technology, okay? Just take a listen to what was said here.
Well, we have breaking news this morning on a worldwide IT outage that has disrupted operations at airports, banks, and broadcasters around the world.
Well, some breaking news in the last few minutes. The Bank of England has reported a problem with its CHAPS payments system.
So the bank says this is a global issue, does raise one or two eyebrows. Now, a global payments issue is affecting the bank's CHAPS service and delaying some high-value and time-sensitive payments.
You've been here a long time. I'm guessing you've never seen anything quite like what we're seeing right now.
Never seen anything quite like this, and it's an indicator, really, of how much technology has taken over not only this business, obviously, but so many others. And in this particular business, television, a lot of things that used to be done by human beings are now done by computers and software, and it's great when it works.
If you're not needed, if there's not a need for your labor,
a lot of things that used to be done by human beings are now.
What's the meaning? Do you have meaning? Do you feel useless?
Not so great when it doesn't. We've never had a system, the entire system, fail in this way. We've had all kinds of computer problems. Everybody does at times in whatever business you're in.
What's the meaning? Do you have meaning? Do you feel useless?
And when Elon Musk talks about, what's the meaning? Do you feel useless? Like truly, do you know, that's why I use the word waste of skins. The planet is filled with waste of skins, and it's tremendous. And it's, you know, it's sad at the same time, but we all need to come to an agreement that, you know, it's people's choice, right? Like, we put out this information, it's all in front of you, and they want to sit there and say it's not true, or it's false, or it's hopium. And now with XRP at $1.44, you know, a lot of people are priced out. I mean, even if you look at other currencies, right? So it's $1.44 USD, but I believe it's over like a $2.10 in Canadian dollars. And when you have the herd of sheeps come into this ecosystem, when everything is pumping, you do understand that they get mind effed. They don't know what to buy because everything is pumping. Can you imagine being in that position? That is some scary stuff. They're all going to be chasing green candles when they come in here. And again, I want to make this very, very clear. We have yet to see anything yet. And I'm going to finish this video off by a little clip that I've showed you guys in the past of Tyrone Lobin, okay, and how Ripple is always correlated. They could be working directly with Ripple or indirectly with Ripple, but Ripple's layer 1 solution is going to go unnoticed. Their settlement mechanisms are going to go unnoticed. And when I mean unnoticed is it's going to go unnoticed by retail, you know, everyday retail. You know, it's just going to be running the back end. It's going to be a liquidity provider for the new world economy. And I know it sounds crazy, but guess what? Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, 100 trillion% will never, ever scale as the XRP ledger. Okay, never. Remember, again, now I'm just getting upset because some people actually think it can, you know? Like Bitcoin and Ethereum will never work as a payment system because it can never scale. It's unpredictable. The networks get congested when it starts scaling, and you're never gonna fix that. And why do you think Ethereum keeps posting or releasing these Ethereum 1.0, Ethereum 2.0, Ethereum 8.0, like all this bullshit, okay? Pardon my language. But we're just coming to this end where everything's going to erupt, and I just cannot wait when people are going to be buying, you know, XRP for $10 because it's around the corner. You know, we're already at $1.50. Okay, let's just say we're already at $2. Okay, we're pretty much already at $2, and oh my goodness, I'm going to throw up. Let me put it to you this perspective. We're almost at $2 without regulation, without Trump. Like, there is just so much missing factors right now in this ecosystem that is just waiting for it to erupt. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and we will be back with another video.
Apollo, JP Morgan, and WisdomTree provided traditional and alternative assets to be tokenized. And in order to set up this fragmented environment, we had Onyx and Oasis Pro tokenize these assets on 3 different permissioned blockchain environments. We had a permissioned zone of the Provenance blockchain, the Onyx Digital Assets platform, and a permissioned Avalanche subnet. And to provide connectivity between all of these different platforms, we implemented not just one, but 2 interoperability solutions, Axelar and Layer 0. And to provide connectivity between all of these different platforms, we implemented not just one, but 2 interoperability solutions, Axelar and Layer 0.
We started building RippleNet with the thesis that crypto liquidity would eventually be able to support robust global payments, large payments. RippleNet was designed so that customers seeing the benefits of our fiat-based network could flip the switch to ODL once the market was mature enough. And this is exactly what's happening.
Flip the switch.
I think what we're building has, you know, it's solving a real problem. And I think all of the tokens, my advice to anybody would be, understand the utility. If there's real utility and there's real value being delivered to a real customer, there will be value in the token.